Hey, it's Phoenix, and welcome to the L2R Podcast, a podcast devoted to motorcycle enthusiasts like yourself and myself. My next two guests are Trinity and Ali. These two have formed a Facebook group. It's called Riders YYC. What's unique about these two is they didn't realize where their journeys would take them. They put together ghost rides. If you're not familiar with that, well, stay tuned. It's Ali and it's Trinity on the L2R Podcast.
Hey, you know what? Only if you had some advertising that you could wear, you know? Trinity, let's start with that. Apparently you're the marketing genius.
Oh, I am not a marketing genius, but okay, if you think so.
The marketing genius she says no to is she's wearing a big shirt that says Riders YYC.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just go with that then, shall we? Hey, let's start with that, Ali. Riders YYC, when did you guys establish it, and why did you put it together?
Oh, geez. About 4.5 years ago now. There was a couple other riding groups here in Calgary that people started pushing away from, and I wanted to start something different, something that everybody can enjoy and get along in, no drama, nothing. So I started that, and so far everything's going good.
It just grew.
It just keeps on growing. I didn't honestly when I first started it, I didn't expect it to blow up this big, but it keeps on getting bigger and bigger, which is great. I'm willing to take it, and I try to be friendly and a family to all, because you know how it is when you're on two wheels. Everybody's pretty much related.
Well, let's go with that then, Trinity. Why exactly did you put this together? Because Ali was saying that a lot of people were swaying away from other groups, but what made your group so different? What made your group so unique?
I think what happened was, Ali started it for a place for all his friends, actually, initially, just to connect, meet new people. And it did start to obviously grow. And we were only really just looking to have a place for all of us just to hang out, meet on social media. That was just like the original plan. And then I would say probably 2 years ago, it just started where we started meeting more people started coming to rides, and I thought, you know what, I think we're creating a platform here. And I just thought last year maybe we should start using this, and really it just kept snowballing. Like, we didn't even have to really think about it. Things just started happening for us, you know, and people come to you.
We started throwing some barbecues at the house. People started coming, hot dogs, burgers, and it just started growing. First one was like 30 people, second one 60 people. It just kept getting bigger and bigger.
We have music videos.
Yeah, I got a friend that comes out. He's a videographer, and he's like, "Yo, I'll do one for you." He did a couple for us, and turned out great. And throw it up on Facebook and Instagram, and everybody loves it. It just
wow.
Gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah, and it grew, and we weren't looking to take over those other groups. We were just looking to have our own for our friends. It was never, no animosity or anything like that. Just
right.
And it's just grown. And then last year, on a Wednesday night, he came to me at 10 o'clock and said, "I want to meet some friends on Friday and go for a ride." I said, "Yeah, that's in 2 days. Good luck." So he posted it, and we had 50 guys show up. And
come on.
So then, when you do group rides, as you know, that not everyone ends up staying together, you all trickle off or whichever. And ended up that a lot of the guys, we still rode 20 to 30 guys for almost the whole ride.
Jeez.
And I'm sitting back and I'm thinking, this is just like, we need to use this somehow.
There's something here. Yeah.
Yeah, so we've hooked up with some fundraisers and some charities, and we just are the middleman. We can help. Hey guys, we're doing a meet. Hey guys, we're supporting this group. And we just kind of started doing that. And then unfortunately, when we get into the ghost bikes is where we, that's where we met a good friend over the past couple of years. And that's where I said, again, we have a platform, and I think we need to use this as some awareness, because he was very, very young.
Very young, very close.
And then again,
what's the gentleman's name?
David.
And what happened with David a couple of years back?
It was just last
end of last season.
Okay.
He was right in the intersection, right in front of his house. He lived on a corner lot. I believe he was leaving his house, and then a van turned left right in front of him.
It's that left-hand turn, right, that catches everyone.
And from what we understand, what we've heard from other people, the passenger in the van told the driver not to take the left turn, but the driver continued and took the left turn.
No, don't hold us to that.
We're not 100% sure, but that's what we heard.
So,
it's amazing. I pause for a moment, because what you two have experienced through knowing somebody very close who's passed away because of ignorance of some sort, that it's fascinating to me that here this year especially, I don't know if you two have noticed it, but there seems to be more accidents cropping up. That I sit back and I wonder, and every time, and maybe you two do the same thing too, when an accident, a motorcycle accident actually happens, there's a part of me that wants to know what happened. We hear of the accidents. We see the pictures, we see the video, we see events like the ones that you're going to have here on May 30th, but we never sit back and really hear the details. And I'm going to get a chance to talk to an RCMP officer in the next couple of weeks, and I'm going to ask him specifically, why does it take so long? Why do you think it takes so long to find this information out?
Yeah,
and do you think it's important to know?
Yes, and that's a really good question. As humans, as Calgarians, we for sure want to know. You're curious what happened, but specifically with us dealing with ghost bikes and the families, I don't usually straight out ask them. We're treading really lightly, and I'm usually talking to grieving families within days of the accident.
You're right. That's not the time or place. Absolutely.
Yeah. And so, sometimes we leave it and we don't ever ask, and we have some people ask us. And
you do understand why it's important, though, don't you think? It's important to know?
Yeah. And I wait until I can hear from a third party or something else. The first ghost bike we did, that family were very close to them. So I get a real good insight, and it does take a long time. And I'm actually curious for you to ask this officer as well. And if you ask us, I personally just think that's the way they run it, whether it's, a car accident, a boat accident, a truck accident, a motorcycle. I feel like it's all taken a lot of time. And we've known friends in other vehicle accidents. And we don't really have a reason for that. And I would actually love to know why that takes so long.
We see very sometimes graphic video of accidents, motorcycle accidents, and what we don't realize is that that's what we see a lot of, these crashes. But there are so many riders, and I include myself as one of those, who are very aware of my surroundings, and I don't do quote unquote stupid stuff on my bike. I respect the road. I respect the drivers around me, whether they be on a bike or in a car or a truck or a semi or whatever. You respect the road. And unfortunately, it seems that the videos that we see very often are those videos of bikers who are not respecting the road. We see them, and to coin a phrase, we see them on crotch rockets flying by somebody at 140 miles an hour, and we think, oh, that guy. But that's just a small microcosm of what we're seeing. The whole idea of what the motorcycle community is all about, it's so muddied. So when I talk to folks like yourselves, it brings it back to reality that there are people like yourselves who are decent people, who understand the rules of the road, who respect the road. And that's why I felt it was important to talk to you two.
Yeah, no, we totally agree with that, and
Yeah.
that is a blurred line for sure with, I think, just human nature. We find that all the time, and it takes one rider to make the name for everyone, for sure.
What do you two ride, by the way? I'm just curious.
I got a 2009 Yamaha R6. Yeah, and then
That's all we have right
that's
now.
all we have right now. A wife doesn't have a bike just yet.
Oh, Trinity. Seriously?
I've been in the market right now looking for her. So
No.
So- Well, maybe this might help you out. In a couple of days, I'm going to be test riding. I'm going to be reviewing a Harley Davidson Live Wire, the electric bikes.
oh yeah,
Hmm.
So that might be something you might be interested in. No clutch. It's just gibber.
No, I know how to. Hasn't been the.
she's had her riding license before I did.
I know bikes.
There's no excuse, Trinity. I'm just saying.
I know.
Okay, let's get to this thing. I'm also curious about this ghost bike.
Mhm.
A lot of people have been talking about it. So someone uneducated, Ali, you start us off. Someone uneducated about a ghost bike. What is it?
It's a bike that's stripped down to bare nothing. So no engine, no wiring, no fuel, no pumps, no lights, no gauges, nothing. Just stripped down right to the frame. Put the tires on it, some plastics on it, and just spray paint it white. We place it at the scene of the accident to help raise awareness and to help the families with the
With the grieving process?
yes.
That's okay.
We get when we post them at the scene of the incident, we run a memorial ride with as many bikes as want to join us, and because it helps us with awareness. We're all family out there, so we got to look out for each other. So we spray paint them white. We put them at the crash scene. We put a sticker of the felon rider's name, year of birth, then the year of the accident.
Right.
And then family members, friends come with Jiffy markers and just sign away and put a little note on it. And then we keep it there as long as we can. And then we give the family an option if they'd like to keep it for memory or just a gift from everybody. And then, or they have the option to donate it back to us for if anything happens down the road.
So it helps with the grieving process. I could see that, putting closure on a situation, a horrible situation. Is it also meant to bring awareness to those people who are going past that area that something bad happened here?
Yes.
And that has, and we know from people have come and left notes or teddy bears, things we've
Flowers
seen.
or, yeah.
And people writing notes that don't know the family. So for sure.
Sorry, when we posted the first bike for David, there was notes from randoms saying that strangers just saying that they're aware of this intersection. They see the ghost bike and they understand what we're trying to do for the wheels.
But they've also said this intersection is very dangerous.
Yes.
As well, like, oh yeah, it's kind of not a surprise that an accident has happened here. Unfortunate, but it's that intersection specifically is very busy.
How many have you put together this year, 2020? Is there a second one?
This Saturday will be our second one.
We have 3, but we're working on 2. It also depends on the families. We'll have to schedule it in and make sure that our crew of guys are available. And there's quite a bit of logistics to this, which I'd like people to understand, because sometimes we get people with their opinions, and I'm like, that's great, but we actually put our time, heart, souls,
and
emotions, finances.
Making these bikes is not easy.
No.
Knowing what we're making these bikes for, it actually slows us down because we feel it. It's hard.
Yeah.
Already there's been too many this year.
Yes.
And the fact that you're doing that, how can people support you then? I mean, you were saying that you're using your own money to do this, Trinity. Oh my goodness. But are there bike shops in town? Are there people who maybe have old rusted out bikes that they could probably donate? I mean, what are you thinking? How could we help?
That's what we did. We do have a few posts out on Facebook, which went viral very quickly. Just any donations. I have reached out to a couple bike shops myself. I almost I'm calling hey, can I get some parts for you? And explain myself. So we've done very well with donations, but again, anytime, any place, any make, model, year, we are more than willing to take. And
we'll take it, we'll store it, and
paint it up.
Unfortunately, yeah, we have to have these on hand, and it's not what we do. And and I've had someone say to me on Facebook, well, you should only collect what you're working on. I said, if you don't understand what we're doing, we are happy with all the donations we take, and if we have to use our garage and our neighbor's garage and the next neighbor, then we will. We're so happy and grateful to get them. So,
well, so then, Trinity, I'm sorry to stop you there, but why is it important for you two to really dedicate and devote so much time to this effort? Why is it important for you guys to do this?
Because we've seen with the first and second one, when we did them, what the families and Calgarians got out of it. We have people coming to grieve or pay their respects that maybe lost a rider years ago, but never had an outlet. And we've met so many people, and we've seen how we've helped them, which we never ever expected, and don't expect anything back. But it was so amazing to see these people say, wow, thank you, you've helped us. We visit our dad or brother, whoever, all the time now, so it became that where we just realized what we could do for people. And if we have the time, or we have our crew that helps us, then why not? I mean, very busy, but we want to do this because we've helped so many people. And it's just helping people in general, I think.
At the time of this airing, this is a few days before May 30th. May 30th, I mentioned that. It's a Saturday because that is the next Ghost Bike Memorial Ride, if you will. Tell us about Ron Bernier.
Do you know what I can tell you? That we actually don't know him that well.
Okay.
Personally, I've never even met him.
Yeah.
But I got a call from someone that rides with us, and I was told about it right away, but not to maybe say anything right away. Fine. I mean, we're used to that. We don't expose any information. And I would say 2 hours later, we're getting calls, messages, texts from people. I don't know how they got, are you doing this for Ron? And I looked at, but in between, I have to say, there is another gentleman that did pass, and we were looking at finding his family first.
Oh, jeez.
I know, and the next day, we just sat down from the first memorial, and I was called about this gentleman, and then I got called the next day about Ron. So I was I looked at him, I said, just need a minute to figure out how we're in a spot where I have to schedule this kind of thing. That's a learning. I mean, each family, I can tell you, they're all different, and they all grieve different. So I have to go with it. And maybe you saw our event and the information I wrote. What I do is I research, I talk to the families without pushing too much, and maybe friends or people that have reached out to us, and I
get permission.
Everyone has told me, and after I get permission, then I'll ask for, surviving family members and things, and then I put those little obituary things together with anybody.
Ali, listen to this young lady beside you, man. How incredible is she?
She does a lot. She goes through a lot of trouble, and
and I think I cry every time I talk to these staff.
Oh my! Well, that's why you have the strong shoulders of the guy beside you to help support you if you need it.
We don't know Ron that well, but his family would say they want to do this for the riding community, and so do we.
So anyone can go to this event?
Mm-hmm.
It's open to anyone. Even though if you're not on two wheels, it's open for anyone.
The ending location, I've always put beginning, ending location. That location, every single time, we've had family members that just drive and wait there for us to come with the convoy. So
right. Well,
Yeah.
if people want more information about this, they can go to your Facebook page. It's Riders YYC, but I believe it's Riders _ YYC. And in there, I'm sure under events, you can find more information about this ghost ride coming up. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. What you two are doing is beyond commendable. It takes a lot of guts. It takes a lot of empathy and emotion and heart. And it sounds like you have all of that in spades, you two. I commend you both on an amazing effort and doing what you're doing. And I really appreciate the time you spent chatting with me tonight. I thank you for that.
Oh, we thank you.
No, thank you.
Yeah. We appreciate your words. You know, we've gotten love and hate on it.
Yeah.
So,
It's all about love right now. I mean, we're dealing with a lot of stuff here with the pandemic, and the fact is that you two are shining bright star through all of this mess, if you will. So again, thank you very much for doing this. Really appreciate your time.
Appreciate it. No,
Thank you.